journey and bring me back safely, I will surely give you the 10th part of all that comes my way. The 10th part. Nobody taught him. There was no teacher. There was no preacher. There was no teaching priest. He said, I will. He raised an altar, and then upon the altar, he vowed. So his tithe became a vow that he lived to tithe, not because of a covenant demand, but because of a vow that he made. Be a tither. You can't say you are a covenant and tithing is a covenant practice. What did I say? Tithing will look into covenant practices. Tithing is a covenant practice. You can't say you have a covenant, you are working the covenant, and then you can't tithe. The people in the world gave their part of income to the devil. You, what are you giving? Give tithe. You are still arguing about it, whether it is scriptural or it's not scriptural, whether it's the right thing to do or it's not the right thing to do. I fear you. You can't tell me you are a covenant child of God if you are not a tither. Tithing is a covenant practice. Can I hear you say amen? The last one, but not the least. They all did, that is the characteristic of this men that walk in the covenant. They all did great things and remarkable success and attainment in spite of their weaknesses and their infirmities of their flesh, because their covenant relationship with God helped them. These men that walk in the covenant, they all did great things, not because they were perfect, not because they were saint, not because they were despite or in spite of their weaknesses. They did great things and attained some certain heights for God, because their covenant relationship with God spoke mercy over their lives. So covenant speaks mercy. Can I hear someone shout mercy? They all achieved great things, great heights. Not because they were perfect, not because they were perfect people, but because they had a covenant relationship with God that God could not ignore them. Even in their weakness, he still loved them. Hello, somebody. God couldn't ignore their prayers. He couldn't abandon them. Even when they broke, when they fell and sinned again, God didn't abandon them because he had a covenant relationship with them. Can I hear you say amen? Let me give you an example of these people. Example number one is Noah. How can a man that the Bible says he was the only righteous man upon the earth? Have you read about the Bible? It said, and all the human beings that were existing, no man was righteous. No one found grace except no one that found grace in the sight of God. And he was the only righteous, and he was called the preacher of righteousness. A man with such kind of report. Suddenly, when he came out from the ark, raised an altar and worshiped God, and began to cultivate the land, and the land began to yield, and he began to get drunk. You see, sometimes success, you can get drunk with your success that you will forget God. He began to succeed. Everything was moving. And then he got drunk from the work of his hands, from the produce of the vine, that he lay naked. A man that the Bible says he was the only righteous person got drunk and forgot himself. But despite his weaknesses, despite so, which means drunkenness was something, a weakness in him that he was dealing with. But despite that, because of a covenant relationship, God used him to build the ark. And God used him to make history that for the first time, one man survived the flood, build an ark without scientific aid, without technological assistance. He built an ark, heavy ark that contained all the species of animals upon the face of the earth that floated on the water. What an amazing God. Have you seen the beauty of Noah's ark? Oh, very beautiful. How beautiful with what do you call it now? With galleries. Every species of animal have their galleries. The lion, the leopard, the everything, the snake, both the poisonous and non-poisonous, all of them were in the same ark, and nobody crossed his boundary because God kept them in the ark. And yet such a man became drank and lay down carelessly, but his covenant relationship with God helped him.